25 News Now at 10.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Trenton Whiting. The Jackson Electric Cooperative reports a planned outage for power line maintenance on Monday from 8:30 in the morning to noon. They say the outage will affect about 300 members north of Edna. The main areas that will be affected are in the Cordele, Speaks, Morales, and Lavaca County areas. There are several farm-to-market roads and county roads that are expected to need work on Monday. Small feeders nearby will also be affected. And we're going to take a little quick toss. It's a pleasure for me to introduce the First Warn Storm Team meteorologist who's going to give you a check-in to see what your forecast is going to look like. Trey?
All right, what an introduction there. Thank you so much. Good to be back. Had a little vacation time. Was back here giving you the weather. And looking pretty good on the outside. 67 cool degrees compared to what we had earlier today. With the winds turning from the east, more of an east and southeasterly wind direction coming up the next couple of days as we have a gradually increasing humidity, and so kind of get used to that. But temperatures remaining not too bad overall. What about any rain chance anytime soon? We'll try to find some. And what's going on in the tropics? A lot. We'll give the details on that a little bit later on in the full forecast. Trenton.
Thank you, Trey. Keep your eyes to the sky this weekend. You might just catch a glimpse of a meteor shower. The American Meteor Society says the Orionid meteor shower is active for the next few weeks. It peaks this Sunday after midnight through Monday morning. Orionid is known for the brightness and speed of the meteors, and for Orionid, you could be able to see up to 20 meteors an hour. But the supermoon that was just in the sky could hamper your view. Experts say you can enjoy views of the meteor shower from anywhere in the U.S., depending on the weather. A dark, open sky with no moon is best. Look for meteors in the lower half of the sky or along the horizon. A tentative deal has been reached to end the weeks-long strike at Boeing. The International Association of Machinists announced the tentative deal to its 33,000 striking members on Saturday. According to the union, the offer would increase wages 35% over the 4-year life of the contract. It also includes a $7,000 signing bonus, as well as an increase of company contribution to the members' 401k plans. The deal still needs to be ratified by a majority of its rank and file members before workers can return to work. A vote has been scheduled for Wednesday. Just days after Israel killed Hamas leader Yahya Sinwar, the architect of the October 7th terror attack, Hamas ally Hezbollah targeted one of Israel's prime minister's homes with a drone. Israel is responding, issuing evacuation orders to residents in a Beirut suburb as it launched a new round of airstrikes into Lebanon.
Huge clouds of smoke rising in the skies over southern Beirut. Israel carrying out several large airstrikes on Beirut's southern suburbs on Saturday. The attacks targeting Dahia, a Hezbollah stronghold. The IDF issuing evacuation orders to residents in the heavily populated area. Those strikes coming after dozens of rockets and drones were launched from Lebanon into Israeli territory. One drone striking a residential area in Haifa. One other drone hit a structure in the Mediterranean coastal town of Caesarea. A spokesman for the Prime Minister's office confirmed Benjamin Netanyahu's home was the target of that drone. Neither Netanyahu nor his wife were home at the time, and there were no reported casualties. Netanyahu saying, "The attempt by Iran's proxy Hezbollah to assassinate me and my wife today was a grave mistake." Israel's war with Hezbollah, which is an ally of Hamas and both backed by Iran, continues to escalate. The Israeli military said around 180 projectiles were fired from Lebanon into Israel. This latest violence comes just days after the Israeli military killed the mastermind of the October 7th terror attack, Hamas leader Yahya Sinwar. Videos show the moment an Israeli tank fired on the building where he was sheltering. This Israeli military drone capturing Sinwar's final moments alive. His face covered, his hand badly wounded by gunfire. Sinwar throwing a stick at the drone. An autopsy revealing he was killed by a gunshot wound to the head. Officials saying Sinwar was close to the tunnel where the bodies of the 6 hostages, including Hirsch Goldberg Polin, were killed. Hamas vowing to keep fighting and not to release the 97 hostages, including 7 Americans, still inside Gaza until Israel withdraws from the area.
It's time for this war to end and bring these hostages home.
President Biden has called the killing of Sinwar an opportunity to try and get a ceasefire both in Lebanon and Gaza. Tom Sufi Burridge, ABC News, Tel Aviv.
A California man has been arrested for allegedly drugging and sexually assaulting 9 women, one of whom died. Court records show 50-year-old Michael DiGiorgio was charged with murder, rape by use of a drug, and furnishing a controlled substance. Prosecutors say the alleged crimes occurred at his homes between May 2019 and November 2021. Investigators believe more victims may come forward. He is being held without bail. He was set to be arraigned on Friday, but that hearing has been continued until next month. If convicted, he faces a maximum sentence of life in prison. A Seattle police officer is recounting a harrowing rescue after he saved a man who fell on active train tracks. His experience caught on camera.
I want to help you, and I need you to hear me when I say that.
When SPD officers started trying to talk a man off a ledge over active train tracks, they'd all come to this moment with a collection of dark, traumatic experiences just like this to help them cope and hope that this time they could save a life.
I think most people, the worst thing that you might see in your life is something that I'll probably see twice in my day.
Officer Shannon Brown had just come from a scene where a woman fell out of a window and did not survive. So when he saw this man slip, there was only time to react fast.
So, we're just kind of listening to him talk up there, and then he fell and hit the ground.
Hey, get ready to pull it.
As soon as he hit the ground, we heard the train horn blaring and saw the lights.
Get ready to pull it.
Officer Brown and his partner saw the train light bearing down, and they had 3 seconds to make a life and death decision for both the man who fell and for both officers.
The worst case scenario was that he was going to fall, and then somehow the worst case scenario became that he was going to fall and get hit by a train. The officer pulled him at the last minute. I think the officer that pulled him was honestly so close to getting hit by the train. I think he was pretty close to getting clipped, so I think if he had not moved him, he absolutely would have gotten hit by the train.
And that's why the man survived the impact from the fall, while both the man and the officer missed the speeding train by mere inches.
He's watched the video back, and we've all watched it, and I think we all get kind of scared for him as soon as we see it.
The 57-year-old man is alive as we show you all this, and Officer Brown says as traumatic as that day was, he ended it with a life-saving win.
Seattle police officers getting there and talking with them, that made the most important difference. Was we're going to try to talk you off the ledge, and just in case you still make your decision, we're still going to do everything we can to make sure that you're going to live at the end of the day.
The Brittany's Believers Corporation held their 4th annual 5K walk and run earlier today. The event hosted dozens of participants who contributed to the fundraising campaign. All funds will be given back as scholarships for aspiring nurses. The nonprofit was created in honor of former nurse Brittany Langridge, who died in 2021 from cancer. She was in the process of becoming a registered nurse, and her friends and family created this organization and event in her honor.
She was such a vibrant and loving person. She loved everybody and was very giving and just passionate about nursing. And we wanted to do something in her memory.
Some participants expressed their belief in the importance of events like this and remembering the reason for the walk.
This event is very important to me. A dear friend of mine, it was her daughter. And so I try to support her every year, and we love her.
Supporters had the chance to submit their names for raffles and purchase barbecue plates as well. The bicentennial celebration in Victoria featured a blast of the past with an interactive reenactment. Discover Victoria, Texas Director Joel Novosad said that they wanted to give residents opportunities to reflect on Victoria's rich history. That history included a reenactment of colonial Victoria. The actors donned traditional military garb surrounded by tents and a historic rendition of settlement camps during that time. Many of the participants suggested how important it is to learn the history of Victoria.
I think it's important that we understand what went on in order to understand what's going on. It's important to know about the then in order to understand about the here.
The ceremony had a flag raising in the morning and finished the closing ceremony with the musket salute. Come to CrossroadsToday.com. Don't forget to submit your birthday wishes. Carolina Estrain and meteorologist Parker Cox will read them live on 28.5 News Now Sunrise. You can submit a local military hero so we can recognize them.
Trenton, I think for Halloween I'll be a weatherman. That's my costume. There you go. All right, temperatures currently on the outside of the 60s, 70s along the immediate coast. Another cool morning tomorrow morning. What about the rest of the day and the rest of the week coming up? We'll take a look coming up in your full forecast. Good Saturday evening, everyone. Trenton Whiting here. I'm back from vacation. It's good to be back. And the winds are still kind of from the east to southeast a little bit, kind of keeping on the dry side with temperatures in the 60s. We'll drop in the lower 60s coming up in the early tomorrow morning. And tomorrow's high temperatures, feel like temperatures, and air temperatures will be in the mid to upper 80s, of course. So we'll warm throughout the day, plentiful sunshine. So get out there and enjoy it because it's still going to be pretty nice overall. We enjoy the little bit cooler temperatures too that we've been experiencing. That'll more come in time. High pressure still dominates the state's weather, keeping us on the dry side. Some high clouds way out there in western Texas. Tropical low pressure causing thunderstorms there in Roswell, New Mexico, up there to west to east of Amarillo, and also near Colorado, moving through the north. Will not be impacting our weather here. We'll keep it on the dry side here, and we'll keep the tropics at bay for us here. That high pressure ridge will keep anything from the tropics from heading our way. Matter of fact, here is tropical depression. This is Nadine, which was formed yesterday, now moved into the Yucatan Peninsula earlier today, and now moving into southern Mexico. Will not be bothering anyone, so we'll have to say goodbye to that one. We have Oscar. Look at this right here. Let's go on to the east a little bit, north of Hispaniola. Hurricane, there you go. There's the coordinates there you see on your hurricane chart there, 85-mile-per-hour winds. Let me step out of the way so you can get a better look at the coordinates here. Very slow mover in the southern part of the Bahamas, moving north of Cuba, coming up next day or two, and then finally coming up for about Monday or Tuesday, finally north of the Bahamas, moving into open waters of the Atlantic Ocean, causing a lot of rainfall here. Flooding more than likely going to be heard of in the Haiti area to Cuba to the southern parts of the Bahama Islands. Nothing out in the eastern parts of the Atlantic Ocean to be speaking of. Maybe a few tropical waves there south of the Cape Verde Islands. We'll keep watching that, of course. You know, high pressure dominates our weather here, keeping it on the dry side for us. So we'll keep that high pressure pretty much begin to move a little bit further to the east with time here, allowing more of a window of southerly winds off the Gulf of Mexico and increase our humidity coming up by the middle part of the week. So it'll be a little bit more humid feel. Don't have the trigger mechanism needed to get a rain shower or thunderstorm really going around here. So we'll keep it mostly on the dry side, with the high pressure still ridging in from the east, keeping our weather pretty tranquil overall and keeping the temperatures real warm during the day and pretty comfortable at night. So enjoy that. A few high clouds from time to time, keeping the rain out of the picture for us here as we run the future tracker through. So plentiful sunshine again for your day tomorrow. A sunny Sunday expected for us. Cuero, looking pretty nice with high pressure dominating our weather here with sunny conditions, sunny skies, high temperatures in the mid to upper 80s in Puerto Vaca. Benefiting the sea breeze, keeping those temperatures down to about 84 degrees, coming up by 3 o'clock in the afternoon with the daytime high there. No rain is anticipated. Victoria, same, sunny skies, highs maybe near 90 degrees by 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So a little bit on the hot side. Extended forecast for us. You like this more the same? Well, you got it right here, right on through the rest of the time period, with high temperatures near 90 degrees, 80s to near 90, lows in 60s, so cool mornings, hot afternoons, sunny skies to enjoy. And take a look at this right here. This is the QR code. Get your smartphone, scan the code you see right there on your screen. It'll take you to a web page. You can download our app. News, weather, and sports at your fingertips. Very easy, convenient, free of charge to have, and be on your phone to be connected with us. Long time no see. Ray Robinson here with sports.
Thank you, Trey. Let's talk football on both high school and the college level. Coming up in sports, we have your Game of the Week recap, along with some Aggie action in sports. We are in week 8 of CFL football, and the picture is getting clear when I'm talking about the playoffs. I went to 2 games. A state favorite in Ganado was in action for the game of the week, saw Sacred Heart host St. Paul. Friday night was a busy one for the Crossroads. I was on US 77, starting off with the #1 ranked in their district, Ganado Indians hosting the Schulenburg Shorthorns. The Indians being a team known for its high-octane offense, showcasing just as much of a great defense and forcing an early fumble on Schulenburg's first drive of the game. That turnover led to a rushing touchdown from senior running back Logan Burrs. That score put the Indians up 2 touchdowns, and they just kept control of the game, winning it. Final score, 61-31. And how about some private school action for your game of the week? The Sacred Heart Indians taking on the St. Paul Cardinals. Sacred Heart from out of Hallettsville, Texas, took control of the game early on with some great blocking, enough for Clayton Haas to lead the Indians rushing on offense. The great blocking maintained on the following plays, enough for Clayton Haas to pour the Sacred Heart Indian touchdown. It was the Indians to take over the game. They win it. Final score, 28-6. I was able to catch up with Clayton after the game for a brief word.
Pretty good. I know we came into this game knowing that we had to play hard, so I'm just glad we brung it. I think it takes the whole line to really help me. So it was everyone.
The same couldn't be said for Ganado's varsity volleyball team. They took on Schulenburg before the football game. Schulenburg Shorthorns sweeping the Indians in convincing fashion. Ganado still with a display of effort in yesterday's game. They left it all out on the court. In which, watch this play right here as Ganado keeps the ball in range with a little communication, patience, and skill to keep the play alive. And it was the Indians to end that play with a kill part in favor of senior Isabel Tristan and Michaela Estrada. It was still Schulenburg to dominate the whole game. Ganado only reached double digits in the final game of the series with 13-25. The Indians look to wrap up their season on the road against Page. And wrapping things up, the Aggies being one of the underrated teams in the SEC right now. They are currently #1 in division, taking on Mississippi State today. And it's Mississippi to kick things off for the first score of the game. Varen Buren found Booth for a 14-yard touchdown. But the Aggies return the favor when Connor Wiegman throws a 20-yard touchdown to Noah Thomas, and that ties things up. But the battle was still up in the air at this point. After Aggies force a turnover, they get the ball back and on a 1st and goal, and it's Levon Moss who makes it be known that he is determined to bring it home for another Aggie touchdown to take the lead of the game. Following that, the Aggies just kept on rolling, winning the game in a tough battle. Final score, 34-24. And that does it for your sports. Trenton?
Thank you, Ray. Coming up, goodbyes at one out-of-country airport will be on the clock. Find out more next. One airport in New Zealand is putting farewells on a timer. As you can see by the sign, people will only have just 3 minutes to hug their loved ones goodbye. A picture of the sign has gone viral on Facebook, with some calling the time limit inhumane. However, others thought the policy was a good idea, with some suggesting it should be instituted at other airports. But for those who do want more time, the airport is directing people to go to their parking lot, where they'll have 15 minutes to say farewell. Basically saying you don't got to go home. You gotta get out of here.
There you go.
I guess they don't like the PDA. Is that a PDA thing? I'm assuming.
I mean,
you know how long 3 minutes is?
I mean, that's a long hug.
Yeah, for sure.
I know you love it. You love your guy, whoever it is, but of course,
Yeah,
it's going to the weather. Let's see what we talk about here. All right, sunny skies, partly cloudy skies next several days. High temperatures in the 80s, near 90 degrees. Not oppressive heat, but it'll be warm in the afternoons. Cool in the overnights, lows in the 60s coming up. No rain to be had on the dry side, so enjoy the day tomorrow with sunny conditions by afternoon.
Love having some good weather. Love having good weather. In
exactly.
So I'm very happy to hear that. But thank you so much for being with us tonight. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today. Have a great night and a great weekend.